Hello, Leonardo Cornejo here, and another gameplay video. I want to do this more often. I actually have new plans. Maybe they won't come out as I intend, but my idea is one of the more serious writing and art and creativity related videos every month. At least one gameplay video every month, and at least one Daigo video every month. And maybe, um, making other videos. Making videos with other things, with other elements. Basically expanding the the project, making weekly content instead of monthly. It's my goal for starting this month, making it weekly instead of monthly. Trying to, because I know I might grow tired or bored and not do it as often as I am currently saying I plan to. But that's the idea. That's the important part. The idea, the intention is expanding the schedule, making things more often, having more fun. In part because I'm trying to get more people to read my books, and I can't afford having no presence online, unfortunately. If it were up to me, that would be fine, but also because I have always wanted to make even a meager profit from playing video games. I wish I could make it my full-time job, but it's not practical and it doesn't go with my personality, because people who make gaming their full-time job usually depend on it being on being professionals at it. And by professionals, I'm talking about you know competitive gamers, not about professionals as in they really like video games, they care a lot about video games and know a lot about video games. No, that doesn't sell. That doesn't sell. That doesn't get you views, that doesn't get you an audience, that doesn't get you profits. But being one of those sweaty competitive gamers, I don't know why people like that. I hate that kind of personality, to be honest. I hate that kind of personality. I really hate for example, XQC is an example of one of those. I really hate that personality. I don't like streaming, that's a personal matter, that's not related directly. Well, that's the thing. I would be required to be one of those sweaty streamers, and I don't like sweaty streamers. I don't like them. And if I wanted to pretend being a professional gamer while not having the talent, like DSP, that wouldn't be cool either. I wouldn't like that either. Come on, get yourself covered already. That's the thing. I don't like that either. So the closest to my personality is playing pre-recorded games, having fun while talking about things. And it's a place where I can talk about things that don't really deserve their own video, or don't really need their own video, or that giving them their own video would be a waste of the time for the both of us. So you can basically see me ranting while playing. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. You can see me ranting while playing. The end goal will be to move this to the role of Daigo, because that's the role where I would like more gaming, and basically make Daigo a full-blown VTuber with pre-recorded content, not with streamed content. I know it's a controversial statement, but if you think VTubing equals streaming, you're fucking wrong. You weren't there for the original VTuber. You weren't there for Kizuna, because Kizuna didn't start streaming. She started with pre-recorded content. Those who are really old school, those who are really in the know that there was no such thing as a Kizuna stream when things started. The first big VTuber, the first important VTuber who was Kizuna had no streaming. And therefore, we don't need streaming. Oh, god fucking shit! I hate those guys! At least they didn't attack the other base where it's more annoying, but... Fucking damn it. As I was saying, those who arrived early didn't see streams. The streams came out later on. The streams weren't a thing about back then. What the fuck? What the fuck is just one fucking asshole? Die! Just one fucking asshole with a flamethrower. The voices start talking in Vietnamese. I'm stealing his spy. I like doing that. That whenever some fucker starts attacking me, I like stealing their pals. It's out of spite. I don't capture them because I need them. I capture them out of spite. Wait, did I catch it? Or did it just disintegrate? God fucking damn it, did it just disintegrate? Or did I catch it? I didn't see the sign of catching it. Well, going to check. I tend to be quite spiteful when it comes to being annoyed. People don't like that about me, but I'm the coolest because of that, because I am honest. What fucking shit, you didn't catch it! That's a bug. Well, that's why it's in early access. You didn't catch it. The thing escaped. Anyway, as I was saying, I like capturing when given the chance. I like capturing the enemy pals out of spite. Because then their servants, their subordinates become my allies. Hold on. I need to feed my cat. Because unlike Hassan, I don't mistreat my pets on purpose. I don't know. I am not perfect. I don't know if I am really a good or bad pet owner. But I try to be a good pet owner. I don't mistreat my pets on purpose. I don't abuse my pets. Unlike Hassan, I don't like that. It's a commie thing. They like abusing animals. I'm not a communist. I don't like abusing animals. As I was saying, I really like playing video games. Gives me the opportunity to do other things, and I really would like to move this to Daigo's section and become a full-blown VTuber. Eventually, I would like to have a model of my own, and to have a proper everything, even a schedule maybe. No, not a schedule. You know, it will be pre-recorded anyway. I don't like, as I said, and I will insist on it. I don't like the idea of making VTuber content on streams, because I don't like to readjust my schedule to anyone. I usually just watch VODs. If things go well, I watch them. I put very little effort in watching streams. I usually just watch VODs, and even then, the only one who I really try to watch streams of is Saba. It's the only VTuber whose streams I always watch. If I happen to arrive on time to watch a Kirsch stream, a Leaflet stream, a Pipa stream, I go there. If I can, I go there. But I don't really put the effort. The only one whose streams I try to watch regularly is Saba. Because it's the only one I really care enough to do that. For everyone else is the recording. For everyone else is the after. Not the live stream itself, but the recording of the live stream. I like watching them though. That doesn't mean I don't like watching them. That doesn't mean I don't like them, even as persons. I like many of them as persons. But the reason I do things that way is because I'm lazy. That's it. Oh god, fucking shit! Those fucking assholes again. I hate them. As I said, it's because I'm lazy. It's not that I don't like them. I like them a lot. I am just lazy. And I will always be lazy, and god fucking damn it, there they are. They're trying to enter through the other door. And they got stuck there. Alright, I need to kill them. Skill time, baby. Because I hate them. That's the only reason. Oh, shit. Well, let's try to catch this one. So I was saying, Saba is the only one I really put the effort of watching live. Everyone else I watch the recorded streams, and some, the ones I care for the least, sometimes not even the bots. I love the Fox News bots, by the way. I really love them. But for example, with Kiara, it's not that I hate Kiara. There is this misunderstanding, and it's a misunderstanding that I hate Takanashi Kiara. No, I just don't prioritize her content, her sense of humor, and I think it's a matter of how we connect with people. Her sense of humor doesn't connect with mine, so sometimes I don't find her jokes funny. I prefer her music. So I sometimes don't watch her streams at all, not even recorded, because I really don't connect with her that much. It's not that I don't like her, it's not it's not something heavily emotional, it's just that sometimes I'm not in the mood, because I don't connect with her that much. Her jokes, I really don't connect with them. Her sense of humor, I really don't connect with them, and in fact recently, but then because I do watch her clips more often than bots or live streams. Recently I watched a clip of her where she said that apparently I'm not the only one. Her sense of humor is just not everyone's cup of tea! And it happens, and it's normal, and nobody should... it's neither her fault nor mine, it just happens. People have different personalities. Sometimes you don't connect with people. There's nothing bad with that. There is nothing bad with that. I don't know why people take it so personally, why people get so angry when you say you don't connect with the Roshi. It's normal. I'm not surprised. I understand people don't sometimes connect with Saba. People sometimes don't connect with Pipa. People sometimes don't connect with Kirsche. Plenty don't connect with Kirsche. Especially because they are scared whenever she brings some forbidden knowledge on the stream. The problem is when they start harassing someone just because they don't understand or like their content. So that's when the problem begins. But we are talking about connecting, about understanding. When you say, hey, I like you, but I don't get you, it's not because... It's not a mean-spirited statement. It's not hostility. I like you, but I don't get you. But I don't understand you. It's totally a normal thing to say. Nobody should be offended about it. People don't understand me most of the time, and it's not because I'm English as second language. People don't understand me most of the time. I get in trouble because people misinterpret what I think, what I say. I know I am actually quite bad at making myself understood. That's something, in fact, That's something that in fact, I am well aware of. I'm really bad at making myself understood. This reminded me of something because I'm trying to keep them better fed, no longer just berries. This reminded me of something funny. Here in Mexico, I don't know if it's also common in other countries, but here in Mexico, there is something that is quite divisive and controversial. That is pizza pizza as compensation for overworking. They overwork you, but in return they give you pizza. that's what, that's in part why I decided to keep this pass pizza. In fact, it's a joke. They call you for overtime, and then you see the boss arriving with a Little Caesar's pizza. That means they are not paying you the overtime. I'm not paying you the overtime, but I am giving you. I bring you Little Caesars, so don't complain. It's a joke here in Mexico. Maybe you think it's not funny, but for us it is. For us it is because, and this is, mm, I won't say it's normal because I know it's not, or at least not. It shouldn't be, but it's normal here to be overworked, to be exploited, and then given scraps in return. That's why I don't want a normal job. In case you wondered, but Leo, why do you stick to working as an independent translator who barely makes any money? Sharing the profits of property with relatives, and working as an independent novelist, which also barely gives you money. Yeah, I'm a landlord technically. Well, because because we love landlords. That's the first part. We love landlords. Any problem with that? And the second part is that I don't want to be overworked. I saw my relatives. I saw how things went for them. I don't want that. to me, to me, being overworked is not a desirable outcome. I don't want to be overworked. I already have plenty of issues with my mental health and my body without being overworked. I don't want the additional ones of being overworked. Because seriously, I already have because of my OCD, because of my insomnia, because of my own personality, my irate personality. I already have plenty of physical and mental health issues because basically my nervous system is about to collapse at any point. I don't want the effects of being overworked. I already sleep less than 8 hours a day most of the time. And I'm not being overworked. I have relatives who have, in quotations, normal jobs. And they go fucking crazy. They are stressed. They are unhappy. They are borderline psychotic, some of them. I don't want that to myself. I don't want that to myself. I want to stay sane. I want to stay healthy. And if I go crazy, it better be out of love. That sounds so fucking cheesy. But anyway, that's the thing. I don't want to die of being overworked. So I want to be lazy and stay chill. And don't not go insane. So I want to write and I want to be a landlord and make money by not working for someone else. Because that's the part I don't like. I don't have a problem with working. I have a problem with working for someone else. I don't want to have a boss. I want to be the boss. It sucks, by the way. It sucks. Being the boss sucks sometimes. Especially when you have subordinates. Who rather than subordinates are insubordinates. And I had the experience. Unfortunately, not anymore. Fortunately, that specific time period is over. But yeah, I had the experience of having a few employees, not that many, but having a few employees who were an example of what insubordination looks like. So yeah, I don't want to be an employee. But I also know it's not nice to be in charge. Being in charge is a side effect of wanting to be free. Simply put. Being in charge is a side effect of wanting to be free. Because when you aren't in charge, you are a subordinate. And when you are a subordinate, you have to answer to some asshole who doesn't even understand what he wants. And I'm not kidding. If you have a job with an employer, you know what I'm talking about. It's not as if I was the only one who has experienced that. And the last time I experienced that, I decided, fuck it, I don't want to experience it again. Because I was the subordinate of the subordinate. And my direct employer knew what she wanted. Her boss was a fucking idiot. So much so that she started to conspire against her boss, started poaching employees from her company, and that's how we both ended up unemployed. not, not kidding. Not kidding. That poaching had consequences. That's how we both ended up unemployed. Suddenly she calls me, asking me to lend her money. Because not only she could no longer pay me, but she was in a debt. For the consequences of poaching co-workers. I don't have anything about my last employer. She isn't a bad person. I still like her. She got herself in so much trouble. And the only reason I didn't get angry at her, and I didn't threaten her after that, fuck up, is because she gave me a job when nobody wanted to hire me. Having so very little experience and such a bad reputation, despite giving good results, because the reputation was mostly because of my attitude, having so little experience and such a bad reputation made most employers avoid me. She was the only one to give me a job when nobody else wanted to. And that's why despite everything I'm saying, or despite everything negative I am pointing at, that's why I respect her. That's why I admire her. Because she gave me a job when nobody else wanted to. When everyone else basically said, this guy is a fucking idiot, she said, yes, but he's my fucking idiot! So I don't resent her despite getting us both fired. And owing me money. I understand why she did that, because as I said, her boss sucked. Her boss sucked royally. She resented the guy. That's the point. She resented her previous boss. And as a result of that hostility and resentment, what came out of it was betrayal. Betrayal to the company, betrayal to her employers, and conspiring with her co-workers to sabotage her employers by poaching. But poaching is even illegal in some cases. And her company dissolved. And with that, I was left unemployed because I was a freelancer. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm seriously not angry. If I was angry, I wouldn't be telling the story. I'm not angry. I don't want to hurt this person. If I wanted to hurt her, I will say the details of her name. I'm not angry. I don't want to hurt her. But god damn it, she got us in trouble. Every single one of us got in trouble because of her decision of poaching. But I'm not judging. I understand why she did it. And I kinda support it. As I said, because her previous boss sucked. Currently she's working for a different company. In another field, no longer in translation. No longer in a translation company, but for a different company. And she works as a translator for them. But I am no longer an option for her as an employee. Because I am, how do I put it? I am not authorized to do legal translations, which is what she's doing with this company. Legal translations and publicity. So basically, hiring me will be fucking illegal. It's funny how my very existence is anathema to almost everyone. I'm a bad employee in the sense of how much I hate obeying orders. That's why nobody wants me as an employee. But I am good at doing my job when I put my head into it. If I say, you know what, I'm doing it and I'm doing it right, you are getting the best results possible. And when I say, you know what, fuck this shit, you are getting the worst results possible. So, I am not precisely the best, most ideal employee. Of course, I don't want to brag about it, it's not something to be proud of. It's not something to be happy about. But it is how it is. I, however, do like a lot to work on my own, to be independent, to do as I see fit with my time, with my schedule. And that takes me back to streaming. I don't want to stream because I don't like to readjust my schedule. And I don't want you to readjust your schedules as a result. I have said it to so many times. And that's the thing. Right. Nope. That's the thing. I want to be a pre-recorded content VTuber. We are a dying race. We are a rarity here. So I want to be one of the few who still make pre-recorded content and is not ashamed of it. Because pretty much all other VTubers want to make streams. For some reason there is this idea that the streaming and VTubing are one and the same. They are not. I refuse to acknowledge streaming and VTubing as the same. I refuse to acknowledge myself as equal to streamers who I do not respect. And I refuse to acknowledge myself as equal to, for example, Anna Valens. I want Anna Valens gone out of the industry. I don't have the, for legal reasons, I don't have the words I want to use to describe the most desirable outcome towards balance from my point of view. I really don't have the words to describe how much I despise that worm. That's the thing. I don't want balance as part of B2B. I don't want balance as part of any trade I get involved in. I don't want balance near me, near my hobbies, near my job. And I have no respect for balance. And I don't want the streamers to pretend they are VTubers. And I don't want a burnt peanut pretending to be a VTuber to then say he doesn't like VTubers. If he doesn't like us, he's not one of us. He's entitled to not like us. That's an important part. He's entitled to not like us. And by us, I'm talking about Daigo. Because you know Daigo is a VTuber. Even if I am not, to put it bluntly, Daigo is to me what I'm trying to think of someone who is very straightforward about being a VTuber and at the same time not being and at the same time doing other types of content. No, I am a rarity. I'm a rarity. God damn it, I can't imagine someone who does exactly what I do. That is to say, having both, being a VTuber and being a content creator separate from VTubing. Daigo is the VTuber, and I am the guy who talks about writing. Daigo is Batman, and I am Bruce Wayne. I'm the Batman. Because Bruce Wayne is the boring version of Batman. Daigo is Batman, and I'm Bruce Wayne. And as Bruce Wayne, I am still Batman. I'm a Batman. And that's the thing. If you don't like VTubers, I am a VTuber. Even if right now, right here, I am not playing the role of Daigo. The only reason I'm not doing that is because I haven't figured how to in a satisfactory way. That doesn't turn my PC into a nuclear reactor. And doesn't cause thermal throttling. I will continue testing later on. I test every now and then, trying to accomplish it, but the thing is, I'm Batman. No, I have the role of Daigo. It's a separate character from me, it's the kayfabe character. It's basically like, how do I put it? Like John Cena on stage and John Cena off stage. It's not the same guy. And therefore, and that's the important part here, that's the focus I want to put into it. Therefore, if you don't like VTubers, you don't like me. You don't need to like me, by the way. You don't need to like me. You don't need to like Daigo, who is me, but at the same time is not, because it's my character. And he's 100% only kayfabe. But if you don't like, and that's it, that's the point, you don't have to like VTubers. You are, B is an example. He has B, and he's the Romanian guy, showing his face and talking about politics. And you have the troll, who is also B, in lack of entertainment, talking about entertainment. You don't have to like us. You don't have to like VTubers. You have no obligation to like VTubers. Actually, if you don't like VTubers, that's fine. That's fine for me. You don't need to. If you don't like VTubers, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not angry, I'm not frustrated, I'm not mad at you. The problem comes when you don't like VTubers. This looks better that way. Because you don't let accidents happen that way in theory. You don't need to like VTubers. You are free to not like VTubers. If you don't like VTubers, that's fine. The problem is when you don't like VTubers and you start bad mouthing VTubers. When you don't like VTubers and you start saying you don't like them and that's why you are not one of them, and you start saying things which are what the Peanut said. Like, for example, that all VTubers are ugly guys, ugly balding guys using an avatar. I'm not balding yet, to my understanding. That's the punchline. No, the thing is, I have an issue with that statement. I'm not a balding guy, and Sameko Saba is not an ugly guy. That's another punchline, in case you didn't get it. And it's a joke she has made, by the way. So I'm allowed to play along her own joke because I like her. She has made jokes about being bald. Of course, they are jokes; they are not real. But she has made jokes about being bald, so I'm allowed to make the joke because I'm one of her fans, and I know the context of the joke. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Samiko Saba is not an ugly guy, and I'm not a balding guy. And Pipkin Pipa is. I'm not even sure if she's really a normal human because she's probably a mold humanoid. That's the thing. We are all different. We are not all Asmongols, ugly and balding. I'm joking. I don't have anything against Asmongols. Before anyone clips this and starts saying I hate Asmongols, no, it's a joke. But he himself acknowledged it. He's balding, and some people say he's ugly, and he's not very precisely focused on her looks. He's not looks maxing. He's not clavicular. So the joke about him being ugly and balding is as long as you are not saying it with ill intent, and you don't necessarily believe it for real, it's a fair joke. The point is, we're not ugly and balding guys with an avatar, and took um I really didn't like seeing an outsider saying that. That's the thing. You don't have to like VTubers. You just don't have the right to insult us. That's my problem with the peanut. Everything else, that's okay. Say whatever you want. Think whatever you want. You don't have to like us. You don't have to like our content. I just don't want to be insulted by some nobody who got in the industry through contacts from the outside. And I consider him an outsider and a nobody. Not a nobody. Even I will say, if he hadn't insulted the trade, I don't have any animosity against him. I don't like his content, I don't like his style, I don't like his avatar. But if he hadn't attacked VTubers, I wouldn't mind that he doesn't like us, that he has a different style. All those things are not my business. I'm not that judgmental in many cases. What bothered me is that he basically hates VTubers, but he wants to be welcomed in the trade, in the business, in the hobby. And I say it that way because it's all of them. It's a trade, it's a business, and it's a hobby. And to me, the trade part and the business part are not nearly as valuable as the hobby part. I know that's weird. I know you will say that's stupid, but to me the hobby part is the most important. Then the trade part, because trades require skills, and then the business part. The business part is the least important, and I think if you see B2B as just business, well, you kinda need a new heart. And I'm not talking biologically, mind you, but you have a heart of stone if you see it as just business. If you see it as just making money, you have a heart of stone. And I'm sorry to tell you, boy, but having a heart of stone as a VTuber doesn't make for good content. It's not the best way to be a VTuber. Having a heart of stone might give you stability in the mental sense, which most VTubers need because they don't have it. Might give you there, quick profits. Might give you plenty of things. But what it doesn't give you is good content. If you do it as just business, you will find yourself tired, disinterested in the job, and unhappy. So yeah, let's try to not be like that. Always do things you like. One phrase, I'm not sure if it is that true, because of some experiences I had. But one phrase I remember is, work at something you love, and you will never need to worry about a job. Or something like that. I'm not sure if I am paraphrasing it properly. But the thing is, if you do something you love as your job, you will get better results. You will be happier, and you will make better profits. These people who are this passionate about VTubing and get into VTubing, what are you doing here, dude? You don't like it. You don't like it. If you don't like it, don't work on it. Don't work on it because it will be a chore. That's the thing. If you don't like VTubing and you get into VTubing as a job, it will become a chore. You will be unhappy about it. And when you are unhappy about your job, you won't like your job. And if you don't like your job, you won't enjoy it. And you will end up doing a shitty job. And we don't want that here. We don't do that here. We don't need that here. And you don't need that either. Because someone say, oh, you're gatekeeping. No, I'm not. Well, yes, but I also want the best for everyone. You don't like VTubing, and you get into VTubing. You won't be happy. And you will make everyone else around you unhappy too. Why would I want you to be unhappy and also unhappy with you around? Get out. Stay out. Don't make us unhappy and don't make yourself unhappy. It's in the best interest of everyone if you stay out. Sounds horrible, but that's how it is. It's in the best interest of everyone if you don't get involved in things you don't like to do. And if you don't force yourself into things you don't want to do. We don't need to put up with that either. That's the thing. I don't like the idea of having people who don't like VTubing in VTubing. Because they are not happy with it, because we are not happy with them, and because basically it only creates trouble and drama. And I don't want trouble and drama. That's the thing. Um, mm, and that's the thing. I don't want the peanut in our trade, in our hobby, in our business, because he doesn't want to be here. He says, I don't like B2B. Then, as they say it in Spanish, ya llegale, güey. Ya llegale is basically fuck off, by the way. It's the Spanish for fuck off. And that's my stance. If you don't like B2B, fuck off! Ya llegale! You don't like us? We don't like you either. Fuck off! And if you like B2B, don't call other VTubers ugly balding guys with an avatar. Because then people will look at you as if you don't like us, as an enemy, and will respond with hostility. And once again will say, ya llegale cabrón. Being Mexican is so funny. Sometimes it's really, really funny. Back to what I was saying. That's why I don't like him, and that's why I don't want to be considered a sequel to him. And that's why I don't like plenty of other outsiders who have tried to enter. It's not just him. It's not just him. There have been other outsiders who have tried to enter. An example of that was this girl Nimu, and she got a lot of backlash for many things she did. Back when she was a VTuber, she made many mistakes, and I'll be honest. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to say, no, wait and see. Because she doesn't seem to be an asshole. She just seems to be stupid. But no, she was an asshole. I was wrong, she was an asshole. I was wrong. I am capable of admitting being wrong. She was an asshole. A very counterproductive asshole. Who basically flung herself into drama just for attention. Betrayed plenty of people who considered her a friend just for networking. And in the end abandoned VTubing, and that's the part where I hate her the most. In the end she abandoned VTubing because it wasn't her thing. She didn't care about it. She didn't really like VTubing, she didn't want to be a part of it, she just wanted the quick profits of the trend. She abandoned VTubing, and now she's how do I say it without sounding like an asshole? She's part of the circle of some streamer who is a very vile asshole called Dallas Reviews. He's known in Spain for being an asshole, he's known in Spanish speaking countries for him being an asshole. And if you have any doubt about how infamous he is for being an asshole, he's a crypto scammer. That's all you. If you are an English speaker who has never heard about Dallas Reviews, he's a crypto scammer. You have an idea of how much of an asshole he is. That's all you need to know to understand. He's an asshole. He's a crypto scammer. He's a crypto scammer. He became infamous for being a crypto scammer. He made this how do I say it? This crypto scam called Bambi, which was a pun with his fandom, which he calls Bambicitos. To be honest, if your fandom is called that, you should be ashamed of yourself. And if your how do I put it? If your master, as the bitch you are, because you are a fan of this asshole, if your master calls you Bambisito. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should consider seppuku. You should consider seppuku. I will put it that way. If you are a Bambisito, you should consider seppuku. Because that's the most dignified thing you can do if you are a Bambisito. Because seriously, it's such a humiliating fandom name. And we know VTubers have some really weird names for their fans. Am I right or am I right, Kaniki? But being a Bambisito makes you sound like a fucking retard. I even feel awkward saying it. That's the thing. This guy scammed his retarded fans. His fans are retarded. They have mental retardation. And he knows it. That's why he scams them. Scammed his retarded fans. Got plenty of money out of them with this crypto scam called Bambi. Then blamed them for it. He's an asshole. And she became part of his circle. And abandoned VTubing entirely. I'm actually open to welcome the peanut if he says, yeah, it was a joke that went out of control. I don't think they are ugly guys with ugly balding guys. I'm the ugly balding guy here. If he admits he fucked up and starts improving things, yeah, I'm willing to let him be. I don't like his content though. I don't like his avatar though. But Leo, your avatar is horrible too. Yeah, but it's my avatar. I have the obligation of liking it even if it is bad. And my sense of humor is bad too, so yeah, I can't complain about my avatar. My sense of humor is awful. The only thing uglier than my sense of humor is that video your ex recorded cocking you. See that? My sense of humor is ugly and disgusting. People don't like my sense of humor. It affected my relationships. Partly. Oh god damn it, she laughed about that. About that joke I made back then. But the other jokes I know she didn't like. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm willing to let the peanut be. If he admits he fucked up, and if he says it was just a joke that went out of control and he didn't really mean to harm the reputation of any VTuber or cause trouble to any VTuber or insult any VTuber. Now, that's him. The other people involved in that controversy, yeah, not so much. They can go fuck themselves. Except Iron Mouse. I do think Iron Mouse just made a mistake. I do want to assume the best of people. That's why I'm willing to forgive the peanut. I want to assume the best of people. I want to assume Iron Mouse is not being malicious, he's just being unintelligent. Because we all have our retard moments, we all have our pendejo moments. I have many of those! And they are just like the nigga moments in the Boondocks. It's natural to have one! Especially when you are Mexican! Having our stupid moments is something we even have a term for. We call it lapsus pendejos. So since we have our moments, we all have that flaw. I don't want to assume malice on her part. But god damn, if she made a mistake! I hope she understood that mistake after being literally shaken because she saw a horrible monster called Rakai. This horrible abomination, this la criatura called Rakai. I'll be honest with you. Many say, I don't believe her that she was literally shaking, afraid of him. No, I will say it over and over again. I think she was shaking because of two different things that were not precisely fear. One was anger and the other was disgust. The guy is grotesque. The guy looks like a racist caricature of one of those racist caricatures of early 20th century, late 19th century cartoons. He looks like one of those. He looks like one of those. If you made a cartoon about him, it would have a very racist title. He looks like one of those. That's the point. He's ugly as fuck. I understand she was literally shaking. Because when you are extremely disgusted and angry by someone, you end up shaking. When you see someone and you're like, this guy disgusts me and I'm angry because he also insults my other senses with his appearance, you can end up shaking. If you're about to puke because of a guy who is so grotesque that he barely looks human, you can be left literally shaking. So yeah, when she says she was literally shaking about after interacting with him because of how he behaved, because of the things he asked, yeah, I totally believe her. I would also be literally shaking if some racist caricature of a black man started asking me unpleasant questions. I would be angry and disgusted at his fucking face. but if she sees this video, she will hate me. But I'm telling the truth. I know the truth. You can't lie to me, girl. Just because you are nice doesn't mean you have the obligation to put up with people who annoy you. And that's my point. Of course she was literally shaking. He's annoying and disgusting. I don't think she was scared. I don't think she was scared. She's stronger than that. That's my point. She's stronger than that. Of course I don't believe she was scared. But fear is not the only feeling that can leave you literally shaking. And hatred and disgust are stronger than fear. So basically, yeah, I understand why she was literally shaking. I would be too. I would be too. He's disgusting. He's annoying and he's rude. He's mean-spirited, and he does things that are that basically amount to sabotage and purposefully disrespecting the etiquette of interacting with VTubers. You don't ask about the identity of the VTuber in public if they don't make it public first. Any VTuber whose identity is kept a secret, you respect that. You respect that when interacting with them. Unless there are extenuating circumstances. And by extenuating circumstances, I talk about very specific cases. Unless there are extenuating circumstances, you don't ask a VTuber about what that VTuber is doing behind the mask. It's secret. It's secret. You are not supposed to know. You are not supposed to talk about it. You are supposed to pretend there is no one behind the avatar, that the avatar is the person. It's part of the role. It's part of the trade. It's part of the business. It's part of the stylistic choice. If you can't respect that, fuck off. If you can't respect the trade, fuck off. You can hate on any VTuber individually. You can be hostile to any VTuber individually. Because otherwise I would be a fucking hypocrite after what I said about Avalaan. But if you can't respect the etiquette of the trade, you are not a VTuber, and don't expect to be welcomed among VTubers. There are cases, as I said, extenuating circumstances which are rare and often are the result of backlash due to the behavior of a VTuber, such as the case of Bint, who had the habit of doxing people and got doxed himself, or the case of Kaminari Clara, who the intent of Asmongold was never really harming her, it was just talking about a double standard, and there was a double standard! there are extenuating circumstances where you can bring up some things that are breaking the taboo. But even then, this is important. Even then, you need to be very careful about the how. You need to be very careful about the how. I think what Asmongold did was extremely necessary because they were extenuating circumstances. But I think the way he did it opened him to rejection and harsh criticism from other VTubers, and they have the right to criticize him. I don't agree with him, but I don't agree with them. I think what he did was right, but they have the right to disagree with me. They have the right to criticize him and to do not like him because of that. I don't really know what each face VTuber individually thinks of him. But I understand if they don't like him anymore after he, even though she deserves it, after he exposed Clara in such a way. She deserves it. But I understand if they don't like him anymore after that. I don't agree with them on that. But I understand it. Because he became bad for business. Because by exposing one of the talents, he became bad for business. It's just the business part. I understand it. It's bad for business. Exposing the identity of a VTuber in front of an audience is bad for business. You can say whatever you want. And probably I agree with you. But she deserved it because she was an asshole. But it's bad for business. And when you are bad for business, you open yourself to be rejected. Nobody has the obligation of welcoming you. But she was bad for business too. That's an important part. She was bad for business too. She was bad for business too because she did things that made the company look bad. Even if it was outside of the company's account, she got cuffed. This is going to be controversial. You can be an asshole as much as you want, as long as you don't get cuffed. When it comes to having a separate identity from your job identity. That account was not a private personal account, it was a cosplayer account. Basically, it was another business account, a separate business, but a business nevertheless. And that's where the problem begins. It was a business account, she got caught. You don't want trouble, don't get caught. If you don't want trouble, you don't bring your personal matters to your business account. That's simple. And I know it's controversial that I am saying it. I know it's not likable that I am saying it. I know her fans, and there will be other Face fans, maybe even Face members who won't like me saying it. But she made the company look bad. And the fact that Jelly was the one punished made things a lot worse. That's important. It matters. It matters. If she made the company look bad without affecting Jelly, or rather, if she made the company look bad without Jelly being punished for anything, it wouldn't be that much of a problem. But she made the company look bad. And Jelly was punished at the same time. Basically, combined problems. And it created a double standard. The double standard is the problem, is the main problem. I think the behavior of Clara is a problem, but the problem that led to things blowing up in that way was the double standard. Why? Because Asmongold is an outsider. People who are in the business, people who are in the know of the business, because of the context of not bringing up things that are outside of the business to the business side, didn't want to bring up Clara's behavior in her other account. That's where things get complicated here. didn't want to bring up her behavior in her other account, because that was acting against the business, and you don't act against the business. But because of how Clara behaved, in general, because of how she treated Jelly, because it's related to her, in the past, and because of the Jelly controversy and Asmongold being an outsider, things blew up hard. She got exposed because of that. She could have avoided that exposure, that unwanted attention. And it's legitimately unwanted attention, and she could have avoided it if she hadn't spoken. If she hadn't spoken about Charlie Kirk's assassination, or if Face hadn't punished Jelly for something so innocuous. I don't think she had to retract her statement or apologize or anything. She said nothing wrong. She was writing her first statement. She doesn't need to have to deal with American politics, and it is American politics in Minecraft. She doesn't have to deal with American politics in Minecraft. And it is American politics, and it is the most transit form of American politics, because it's American politics disguised as education. That's something that bothers me a lot. When people disguise political propaganda as education. Because in Mexico it happens a lot. That's why it annoys me so much, because here in Mexico it happens a lot. Groups, corporations, they do that a lot, and I don't like it. So I understand her statement, because I agree with her statement. Why does she have to pretend to care about American civil rights? And in the most biased way possible, mind you, because that's a problem. That's why I say this politics, because it's very biased. In the most biased way possible, why does she have to care about biased American politics when she's an Asian girl who has nothing to do with that? What she said was not racist, and that's my problem with the statement made by the official statement made by Face. They called her racist. They called her racist. And as I said, if they hadn't said that, and if Clara hadn't made such vile statements regarding politics, regarding Charlie Kirk, regarding Trump voters, female Trump voters, if she hadn't made cruel statements regarding Jelly herself, the controversy wouldn't have reached Clara. But she made those statements. I will be honest with you. I will respect her more if instead of trying to pretend nothing happened, she said, "Yeah, I'm an asshole." And I said what I said. You heard it already. And you don't have to like me. I'm an asshole. Instead of trying to play nice. Because I respect assholes who are honest. I respect assholes who are sincere. I respect assholes who say, "Yes, I'm a fucking asshole. What are you going to do about it?" Because I'm one of those. In case you didn't notice. A very annoying man when I'm in a bad mood, and a very nice man when I'm in a good mood. No wonder why my relationships fail. But trying to pretend nothing happened, not owning to your actions, and having the company cover your ass. That's cowardly. And I respect assholes, but I don't respect cowards. Because I'm a coward! Sorry, I had to make the joke. No, because cowards cause trouble. I don't want trouble, unnecessary trouble. Assholes cause trouble, but they are smart about it. Cowards cause trouble, and they are stupid about it. I don't like cowards. I respect assholes. I have a level of respect towards assholes which maybe you are justified to think so. It's undeserved. Maybe I respect them more than they deserve. But that's because I'm an asshole. And I think being honest is better than being likable. I think being honest is healthier than being likable. I think being likable is such a fucking drug. I don't like being likable. Faking being likable, not being likable as in, oh, I hate being likable. You gotta hate me. I'm not one of those weirdos with a masochistic tendency pretending to be tough guys. No, I don't like faking anything. No wonder why she left me. Sorry, I had to make the joke. I like to make jokes about breakup. No wonder why she left me. uh, As I said, I don't like faking things. I don't like faking being likable. I don't like faking being nice. I don't like faking anything because I'm tired of fake people. I had to deal with so many fake people in my life. I don't like them. The only honest people I met were all assholes back in college. The honest people I met were always the people nobody fucking liked. Because they were assholes. Not because they were these obnoxious, not because they were these obnoxious mean girls. No, they were men. They were men, and they were assholes. They were not these obnoxious women. These obnoxious mean girls. These, in the words of Shondo, these women. No, they were all guys. They were all assholes. But they were cool assholes. And they were my friends. Every single one of the asshole guys, except for the cyclists, were my friends. You know I can't be friends with a cyclist. We are not the same species. See, that's the thing, I'm an asshole. My sense of humor is disgusting. My sense of humor is unpleasant. I have a bad reputation over that. And I don't pretend I'm not. Unpleasant and with a rancid, disgusting sense of humor. That was my friend group. My friend group were those guys with a horrible sense of humor which made people say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck isn't?" And God, if I have so much to complain about. Well, not really to complain about, but so much to say, so much to be an asshole about. And rightfully so, mind you. For example, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was a fucking insult to humanity. I still can't believe that people are applauding that retard Bad Bunny. I hate him. I hate him with my entire soul to a point that is beyond all description. Oh shit. I absolutely loathe that worm. If I could choose 259, okay. If I could choose someone to kill, it would be him. Because I seriously hate him. He has damaged the reputation of Latin America to such a point that I'm ashamed of being Mexican now. And I am a fucking patriot who loves his country. In fact, I love my country so much. I actually agree with Americans on immigration. And that's the reason. Because I don't... If I was in the position America isn't with immigration, I will be defending my borders too. I strongly support ICE. Because when illegal immigrants enter Mexico, I want our immigration enforcement officers doing exactly what ICE is doing or harsher. I don't care about the well-being of illegal immigrants. I know it's controversial, but that's how I see it. So I understand and respect the perspective of Americans regarding immigration. I understand it and respect it. Because I want that for my country. So no, I don't think Bad Bunny represents me, and I don't like him. I find him repulsive, I find his music disgusting. In fact, I don't even consider it music, I consider it a cacophony that pretends to be music, to gaslight people into supporting him, and gaslight people into giving him money. The guy is a bastard. The guy is a repulsive asshole in all senses. I'll be honest with you. He's evil. I'm not even exaggerating, he's fucking evil. He had many controversies of abusing his fans here. You know, I am that guy who says, treat your fans like fucking gods because you eat from them. Be grateful to your fans. Put up with whatever they want you to put up because you eat from them. Don't alienate your audience because you eat from them. Well, this guy, and he does it whenever he's ridiculed, he does this. He deletes his social media presence. This guy had a rather big controversy when he got a fan got in front of him trying to take a picture or God knows what with her camera or a video or something, and this guy slapped her hand and threw her phone into a pool. The phone got totaled. I mean, if there is something that doesn't mix is electronics and water. That phone didn't make it. That phone was as alive as her brain, as her brain as her higher brain functions. Known, because you got to be a fucking idiot to like his music. And on one side, there were the fans who were like, "Oh, you need to understand Benito. He was scared." Like if he was I don't know, a fucking gorilla or something, you know? Like, oh no, you don't understand. The gorilla punched you because he was scared. It happens, by the way, with gorillas. And as if he was a fucking gorilla who gets scared and punches you. Oh, you need to understand, he was scared because he pulled the phone in front of him. And making excuses to justify his asshole behavior. And that's the important part. It was asshole behavior. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. There is no way to sugarcoat it. He's a fucking asshole. He's a fucking piece of shit. Everyone with a brain understands that he's not a good man. He's a very bad man with a lot of money, a lot of fame, and a bunch of idiot fans who tolerate from him even the most degrading abuse. And that's the thing. They forgave and tolerated his degrading behavior. And he destroyed her phone. That girl, well, sucks to be you. You lost your fucking phone. It's not as if I like her or anything, but I do feel some compassion for people who lose their belongings because I'm an asshole. And as an asshole, I don't like it when people damage my property. So yeah, I understand. I feel compassion for this idiot. I rarely do, but in this case I do. Because the fucker destroyed her phone. And his fans started justifying that behavior, that unacceptable behavior, because they worship him as a fucking god, and that angers me. But there were other fans, former fans to be more specific, and there were people in the media criticizing him, and rightfully so, saying, no, what he did is wrong, what he did is unacceptable, and he destroyed a phone of a fan by slapping that phone away. He's an asshole. And you know what he did? He deleted his social media temporarily. He left his social media, leaving this sad Bart Simpson picture saying, "Oh, people will miss me." Fucking asshole. He acts like a girl. He acts like a girl in that regard. And well, everyone who wasn't an idiot was like, dude, what a fucking idiot. He destroyed her phone and now he's playing a victim. But his fans were defending him, and aptly so missing him, as he predicted. Then there is this other case. There was this controversy with Ticketmaster about him, because Ticketmaster are assholes too, and they sell more tickets than they have available. I think it happens in America too. The thing is, there have been several controversies with Ticketmaster about it. About not having enough tickets because they sold more than they had available to begin with, and they basically they sell invalid tickets as a result. And those invalid tickets become a problem because then the customer, well, you bought a ticket, but the ticket is considered invalid and you can't use it. That ticket doesn't exist to the company. That ticket is your ticket is treated as fake. That's where this begins. That's where this story begins. It happened with tickets for one of his concerts. And naturally, there were divided opinions. Some said it was Ticketmaster's fault. It was. Some said it was his fault. But here is where people got angry about it with him. He didn't make any official communicate, and he would have saved face by doing so. Because it was as simple as saying, look, I'm not in charge of the tickets sold by Ticketmaster, but I am angry about them insulting my fans. That's the way you should react in those cases. When you basically you don't have the responsibility for a problem, but it affects your fans. If it affects your fans, you show some solidarity. Even if you deep inside couldn't care less. Just to look good. Just to look like you care. Show some solidarity. Personally, if my fans were fucked over by Amazon, I would be really angry. Because it's bad for business. First of all, because it's bad for my business. And because I do care about my fans. I do care. I'm an asshole, but I'm not an idiot. I do care about my fans. And I know that caring about your fans is good for business. And I will put it this way. I don't like things that are bad for business, but I do like things that are good for business. Caring about my fans is good for business. I like caring about my fans. Weird? Maybe. Controversial? Maybe, because I am saying basically that I care about my fans because my fans give me money. But dude, if I don't have money, I die. So I care about my fans because I live another day thanks to them. It's called gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, you're fucked. If you don't have gratitude, you're fucked. Oh shit. If you don't have gratitude, you're fucked. And that's my problem with him in regards to business. He shows no gratitude to his audience. And to make matters worse, he's a fucking woke leftist. So I fucking hate that guy. I seriously hate that guy. Now, here's the thing. I know that there are plenty of people who like him. And I have a problem with that because I think it's wrong. But there is very little I can do about it. There is nothing I can do about it. Because unfortunately for all of us, unfortunately for me, he's part of the media industry. And unfortunately for all of us, and unfortunately for me, he's probably more popular than I will ever be. Because people have a bad taste. Anyone who likes him has a shit taste. That's something I won't even dance around it. If you like Bad Bunny, you have shit taste. And I don't respect you. And I don't like you. Because you have shit taste. And I hate people with shit taste. He's an asshole. He's a very vile asshole. He's a very mean asshole. I plan to alter this design, by the way. I don't like how it resulted in the end because it's so transparent, so I will put some other things, but some parts will stay transparent. As I was saying, I don't like him. Unfortunately, I know he will always be more relevant than I am because I'm poor in comparison. I'm not in the poverty line so far, to my understanding. But I am not getting rich with my writing. And I don't think I will ever be. I don't think I will ever be rich with my writing. Because that was never the plan. My plan has always been bringing a new era to entertainment through my writing, creating culture to my writing, and making enough money to live off of it. Not getting rich, not getting famous, to live off of it. So yeah, I'm not rich, I don't plan to get rich with my writing. But I don't like him because he's an asshole and he doesn't represent Mexico to me. He doesn't represent our culture, he doesn't represent anything about me, he doesn't represent anything that I stand for. He in fact represents... God fucking damn it. He in fact represents everything I stand against. He represents that part of Latin America that is vulgar, that is extremely political, that is extremely far left-leaning, that is pornographic and disgusting to my standards. The lyrics of his music disgust me even before I rejected him for politics. He's an asshole. And he can't tolerate criticism every single time he has been criticized for his actions. He deletes his social media to flee from criticism. So, I hate him. And I'm bothered by the fact that a fair share of my country is applauding him because they have a Trump derangement syndrome and talk about how he delivered such a message to the evil Donald Trump and to the evil ICE and to the evil US government, because here in Mexico we are heavily propagandized against America. We are constantly fed propaganda against America, against the current US President Donald Trump, against the American immigration enforcement, and I don't want to be part of that. Because here even right wing people have those views. Even people who oppose everything Bad Bunny stands for are applauding him because he made Donald Trump angry. That bothers me a lot. That's fucking stupid and pathetic of us. You shouldn't betray all your principles and values just because the guy who stands against everything you care for is making Orange Man Bad angry. That's not good politics. That's not how you handle politics in a healthy, reasonable, and mature way. I don't like Bad Bunny. I will never like him. I don't support him. I will never support him. And I strongly agree with Eduardo Verástegui, I think is his name, who also said pretty much the same I'm saying right now. He's one of the few Mexicans I agree with him. I agree with in this topic, and with Donald Trump. The lyrics Bad Bunny writes are extremely disgusting and vulgar, and you will say, "But you are the lolly fan service guy." Yeah, but I am not. I am not talking about. I'm not constantly talking about anal sex with Teletubbies in my lyrics or writing. He does that, by the way. He does that. One of his songs talks about anal sex with the Teletubbies in the lyrics. I don't know, I don't remember the title of the song, but I have seen it. It's disgusting. I really hate that guy. I really hate that some Puerto Rican guy. It's a South Park reference, by the way. But the thing is, as I was saying, most Mexicans are heavily propagandized against Donald Trump, against the United States, against immigration enforcement. They have like this sense of entitlement. That's the only way I can put it in words. God damn it, it's not. Good is better than perfect. They have like this view of Donald Trump as the devil, and ICE as the servants and acolytes of the devil. That's how I can put it. That's how I said it. They hate ICE. They hate Donald Trump. They hate America. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They hate America. And I fucking hate them. Every single one of these Mexicans who think like that, I hate them. I'm annoyed by them. Because Mexico and America benefit more from allying with each other. And I know that's surprising, and there are plenty of Americans who don't like Mexicans, who don't like me, who will call me a speak, who will call me Latinx, and they do it. They do it. But this is the truth. Mexico and America benefit more from being allied with each other, working with each other, benefiting each other. And I wish Donald Trump realizes that he needs to overthrow the Mexican government to accomplish that mutual cooperation. Because we benefit more from mutual cooperation. Because we can grow a lot together. America, not so much as Mexico. I will be honest with you, because you will say, "Oh, you just want to take advantage of America because you know they are more prosperous than your shithole country." First of all, yes, you are more prosperous than my shithole country. Yes, you have the right to call it a shithole country. It's a fucking disaster of a country right now. It is unstable. It's a failed state. I won't deny that. But no, I don't want to exploit America, take advantage of America maliciously. What I want, and I do absolutely want, and I earnestly want, is to stabilize my country and grow together. We can grow together. We can benefit a lot of working together to make the entire continent great again. Because seriously, the entire continent needs to be great again. Not just the US, and not just Mexico. And this is the most ridiculous part of the whole America is the whole continent. Then why are you angry when Trump renamed the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America, which I, by force of habit, still call the Gulf of Mexico most of the time? And then why are you so angry that it is the Gulf of America now, if it's the whole continent? Because that's something they said. America is the whole continent. It's something this retard Bad Bunny said. And why are you so angry when Donald Trump renamed it Gulf of America? You know what you mean. You know what he means. You know what we all mean. You know what everyone is talking about. You know that when people say America, they are talking about the United States of America because it's shorter and faster. And when people say the Americas, they are talking about the whole continent. And God, if I want the Americans to be better, And I want to make both America, the Americas, and Mexico great again. Because when we are working together to be great again, we make the whole continent great for real. And I want the whole continent to be great. Jesus God, if I benefit from that. I benefit from the country doing fine. I benefit from the continent doing fine. I benefit from America doing fine and from Mexico doing fine. Because you guys, Americans, are my best customers. And when you are doing fine, I make a profit. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I like you because you are my esteemed customers. By the way, my worst customers are not Mexicans. People will think I am saying that my worst customers are not Mexicans. They are not the best customers. They are far from the best customers. They have failed me too many times in terms of business loyalty. But the worst customers are Indians. Because Mexicans barely buy. But the Indians, and this pisses me off, they only grab my books during giveaways. During giveaways, the biggest number of purchases are Indians. They go and redeem. They go and redeem the moment there is a giveaway. But when there is no giveaway, they don't buy. They don't buy, dude. They redeem. They totally redeem. Why did you redeem? But they don't buy. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's bad for business. I know I sound like an asshole when I say it, but if you don't buy, it's bad for business. And you don't have an obligation to buy, but when you don't buy, but you do redeem, why did you redeem? It's bad for business. It's bad for business. That's it. That's it. I don't hate the Indians as a whole. I only hate a lot of them right now because of how they behave. But when you don't buy, you are bad for business. And when you are bad for business, I get angry. And when I get angry, I say mean things. So if you don't want me to say mean things, do not redeem! Buy it, motherfucker. Buy it! And as I said, that's why I like Americans. Because I am grateful to them. Because they have been quite fine customers. They pay, they buy, they are loyal, they respect me. Most countries don't do that. Most countries don't respect me, don't show loyalty, don't pay, don't buy. Most countries, at least not in the amount of Americans do. That's why I play nice with Americans, because Americans are nice to me. And I have said it before. Because when things go really to shit, the friends that are there for me, still to this day, are Americans. I had friends from other countries. I'm not saying I didn't have friends from other countries. I had friends from other countries. Plenty. In the past. But here's the thing. In the past. Many of my friends from back then, from Mexico, they fucking dumped me. They betrayed me. They abandoned me. They acted against my interests. They are no longer my friends. That's how I put it. They are no longer my friends. When you act against my interests, you stop being my friend. And that's why they did what they did. They betrayed me. They acted against my interests. They stopped being my friends. Of the friends that, and many of them are just fair weather friends. Even if they are still my friends. Most of my Mexican friends are either fair weather friends or former friends. But my American friends, and I have a few, many of them have been here for me at my worst, when I hit rock bottom, when I was struggling more than I ever did. They pulled me out of that hole. They saved me. And for that I'm grateful. Gratitude is something I hold in my heart for them. But those Mexican guys who betrayed me, fuck them. Some of them betrayed me the moment things got tough. Not before that, not after that. But the very moment things got ugly, they walked away. And then they are surprised that I have no interest in being friends with them anymore. And that I don't have this Mexican pride against America. I can't hate America when America pulled me out of my worst moments. When it was Americans who saved me from my worst moments. When America got me out of the most horrible point in my life. Because it was Americans who saved me back then. It was Americans who stayed after that, before that, and during that. Because out of all the friends that helped me back then, only 3 were Mexicans. Of the ones that are still around, because there were others that helped me and I do feel gratitude, but they dumped me afterward. They dumped me for whatever reason. At the slightest sign of friction, of real friction, they dumped me. My American friends haven't. And I'm an asshole, so I am grateful of people who put up with me. Because I know it's not easy. I know it's not nice. I know I'm not likable. I know, I will say it that way, I know there is something wrong with me. I know I'm weird and annoying and awkward, and I can be extremely rude. So I'm thankful to all these people who, despite all that, they still care about me. They still take their time to listen to me. They still put up with me. And they sometimes put themselves in the line for me. They get in trouble for me. They get me out of some really stupid situations that I caused myself. They are there. They still are there. The most loyal friends I have. Except for 3 of them, all of them are Americans. And one of them is a Mexican Jew. That's one of the reasons why I don't express real hatred towards Jews, because I have a friend who is a Jew, and he's one of the most loyal assholes I have in my team. And Mexican. So basically, of the Mexican people in my friend group, that one guy who literally, with his own words and actions, swore loyalty to me, is a Jew. You will say, no way, yes, way, Sephardi. He's not Ashkenazi. I am not fond of the Ashkenazim, by the way. If you ask, I'm not fond of the Ashkenazim. I know the Ashkenazim. I know how duplicitous and morally questionable the Ashkenazim are. But the Sephardi, I respect them. The Sephardi, I respect them because that one friend who literally fed me when I was starving is a Sephardi. I have a sense of gratitude. Stronger than my racism. I'm not joking. And the guy is super far right. The guy hates everything woke, hates everything LGBT, and absolutely hates wealth redistribution because it's in his blood to care about money. In his own words, financial responsibility is certainly something the Jews do. So yeah, I'm not going to hate the Sephardi for what the Ashkenazim do, and specifically for what far left, but for what specific not far left, for what the specific groups of rich leftist Ashkenazim do. I won't hate some. I'm trying to think of an Ashkenazim German name. I won't hate Shlomo Bernstein, the kosher meat salesman, who is honest and hardworking, and all he does is selling kosher meat. For what Mark Zuckerberg is doing, because it's not his fault. And I don't believe in collectivism. I'm not a fucking communist. I'm not a fucking socialist. So I don't believe in collectivism. I follow my principles, I follow my values. And that's also why I hit Bad Bunny, back to what I was saying. Because I don't believe in collectivism. I don't consider all Latinos as equals to me. I don't believe in equality, and I don't believe in collectivism. I'm an individual. I'm separate from them. I am not like them. I am superior to them. Specifically to Bad Bunny and to his ilk. I am above them and they are below me. And if they have an issue with that reality, sucks to be them, not my problem. I am above every single leftist in the planet. And if you are not a leftist, you are above them too. The bar is not that high. I am not that special. It's just that they suck so much that the only requirement to be above them is not being one of them. You really thought I was going to agree with all these guys, all these national socialist inbred Soft-tarts? And that's I'm trying to be generous. These national socialist inbred Soft-tarts, who did you really think I would agree with them? Who think that race matters all the time? But I come from a country where race doesn't really matter because we are not even the same race, all of us. That's something you don't know or understand about America, about Mexico, do you? Unlike America, here race doesn't matter. Here, and this is a real anecdote. Here, the black kid calls the other black kid racist slurs because the other black kid is unpopular, and this is a real experience, which I will talk in the next Palworld video, because I'm going to record it almost immediately after this one. So, and I will upload it in the next week. So, see you in a week, because this thing records for 2 hours and you are probably tired. So in the next week, I'm going to talk to you about this anecdote because it's really funny, and I will start with it. So, yeah, have a good one.